Welcome to ZKast, everyone. I'm Agrawal from ZK Research, and I'm here on site at the HP Amplify Conference, which is HP Inc.'s partner conference. I'm joined today by Anurag Agrawal, and you're the Chief Global
Analyst for Techaisle.
Yes. And just a quick introduction on yourself and Techaisle.
Yes, so I have been in this rodeo for over 35 years, and Techaisle is an analyst firm that focuses on small business, mid-market, and the channel partner organizations.
All right, well that's a great intro then, because HP Inc. does a lot of business with the small businesses.
Absolutely.
And also almost all their stuff runs through the channel. Now, we're going to do some instant analysis on the keynote. We literally just walked out of the keynote hall. We saw Enrique deliver a keynote with a cast of other people, including a number of partners. First of all, the big theme here is AI, which of course at every show it is. I think when you think of what HP's products are, PCs, peripherals, printers, you don't often think of that being associated with AI though, right?
That is true, but at the same time, they've tried to build a good story around AI, PC. They're also bringing AI into their printers and peripherals. And I think somebody did on the stage talk about the fact that they launched 100 different products last year. All of them were AI enabled. So I think they're building that story.
So the term AI PC is something I've heard over and over again. It's not just HP, Dell talks about it, and anybody who makes HP. What is an AI PC?
So the way we look at AI PC is the fact that, hey, outside of just the CPU and GPU, it has an NPU, right?
But not necessarily a GPU.
Not necessarily a GPU, but at least that NPU processor has to be there within that PC. And most of all, there are certain inferences that can be done locally. It does not really does any AI functionality, but actually enables the applications to drive that AI functionality.
Got it. And so I think one of the key distinctions there you brought up was inferencing versus training. Training, much more computationally intensive.
You're right.
GPU workloads in data centers. And so inferencing done on the PC. So I've thought about this and I've kind of struggled with it myself. What are the types of things that you would actually need an AI PC for?
So that's an interesting question, right? Because you and I just talked to a couple of partners as well. I mean, we were asking them as to what an AI PC could be used for.
And one of them was really excited about it.
Yes, one of them was really excited about this. But then when we kind of tried to delve deeper into it, they did not have the real answer. So I think people are really trying to really evaluate what AI PC do. I mean, the messaging is very clear that you can run Copilot, right, which is Microsoft's product. You can run Google's Duet or Gemini locally as well. Those are the elements which are there. But how does an AI PC, although the promise is there of productivity, improvement in efficiency and things like that. I'll just take a minute to just quote some of the stats, which is kind of very telling in terms of SMB. When we did our very large study of SMBs trying to really look at AI PCs, we found that 41% of SMBs are aware about this, and actually 86% of the mid-market customers are aware about this. But then when you talk to them about the next question, are you going to buy AI PCs? 52% of the SMBs think that they will wait and evaluate, as opposed to 25% of the upper mid-market customer. So people are still going to be in the evaluation stage as to what an AI PC can really do for them.
One of the interesting points that was brought up by the partner from India, though, and I think here, being in the US, we're a little, I think, numb to the fact that you don't have great bandwidth in all parts of the world, right? And so if you're in a rural area and you don't have that great bandwidth to be able to run AI from the cloud, it does make sense that you want to run it locally on your PC. So I could see that as a use case. I do think, though, as HP does come to market with their AI PCs, they highlight those use cases, though, because the last thing they want is people scratching their heads trying to figure out what to use it for.
And actually, that goes for every PC OEM, right?
Yes.
And everybody is coming out with this AI PC with the promise that it will improve productivity, drive efficiency, and so on and so forth. But the use cases are still got to be proven. And I wish, including HP and other PC OEMs really experimented with that and came out with a laundry list of use cases. This is how it is going to improve the productivity instead of allowing the end customers to really experiment with it first.
Yeah, now we are here at Amplify, and you can see it says partner conference, and that's key because it's not a user conference, right? We're messaging here to the partners.
Yeah.
How do you feel HP is doing with its partner program today? I know they've had some bumps in the past. They've tried to make some improvements to it.
So I think over the last 1 year, they have really invested a lot in their partner program. I mean, it is testament to the fact that there are 1,500 partners here in person out of about 300,000 partners that they got. 85% of their revenue comes from the partner base. And talking about AI, PC, they are really starting to launch some new programs, such as role-based AI training and certification, which is absolutely new. They have launched some new growth plays, which includes AI data science, and they've got this more and more, which they have launched as of now, I think maybe coming down soon as well, for their partners to drive much better intimacy with HP. So their investment is going on, but they need a lot to do, right? Invest in managed services, invest in security, and so on.
They did talk about managed services, in fairness, so they're coming.
It is coming, but then managed services is such a huge market today, specifically when you talk about the SMB, which is one of their growth markets that they really talk about. But only 2,000 partners currently are offering HP managed services today, which is absolutely low.
Out of a base of hundreds of thousands.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
So it's a small percentage of it.
It's a very small percentage.
I do know the more complicated the world gets, the more you do need managed services. I've heard that this is going to be the year of the partner because of managed services, and so let's see if they can ramp them fast enough to be able to do that. And I think, especially when it comes down to some of the stuff that are in security, if AI PCs take off, you're going to see faster refresh.
Yes.
Right. That would also lend itself to managed services, would it not?
Absolutely true. And I think the other story, which you can talk a little bit more about that, is the story with Poly.
Yeah.
How are they enabling the partners to put together a solution set along with the PCs, the printers, and the Poly, and offer them? I liked Enrique's statement, the fact that they are reimagining, HP is reimagining, I think he said, workplaces and spaces.
Yes.
Both. So I think that's a pretty big area for the partners are going to play into.
Yeah, I think the HP Poly story is still being written, and I still do think it has some more work to do. I remember when the acquisition happened, I wasn't really clear on the value prop other than conceptually, if we do move into this world of hybrid work, it does create a one-stop shop for your PCs, peripherals, cameras, room systems, things like that. But those are different buyers too. That's the other challenge. So I've talked to some of the partners about that, and the people that are building these digital offices are different than the ones procuring the PCs, and so I see that as a challenge. One of the things I did notice in the keynote that we heard very little from the Poly product side. It was referred to a few times, but there's really not a lot of detail on it.
It is true, but maybe that is coming tomorrow.
Could be
in the business unit section of the keynote, right? But yes, you are right. When we talk about the hybrid story, Poly is a very integral part of it. They did not really mention that. They did talk about the fact that they have announced like 6 configurations of conference room as a service type of a solution, right? And that story has yet to be written as well as to how the end customers adopt it and how do they buy it, how do the partners sell it, right?
They also released the results of a study, and actually it was released a little bit before, that showed that workers want to work hybrid, right? Obviously, I think every company that's tried to make return to office mandatory has repealed it. But they also feel the tech in the buildings isn't sufficient to drive hybrid work, and but they don't trust the companies to management to actually deploy the right stuff. And I think when I've talked to company leaders, the opposite's true, where a lot of them have deployed the technology, then people don't use it. And I brought this up in the Q&A yesterday with Enrique. It seems, I think in order for hybrid work to thrive, it's not a technology issue anymore. It's more a cultural issue for a lot of companies.
I agree with you.
I don't know if they really know how to do hybrid. We mastered work from home. Right, during the pandemic. We clearly do that well. And before that, we mastered working in the office. I don't know if we know enough about hybrid work to actually understand how to use technology to do that.
It is true. I think we were able to master the work from home because of the fact that everybody was moving in the same direction.
Yeah.
Right? Because the employees had to work and the employers wanted the employees to work. So there was one single mission. But when it comes to hybrid work, it becomes challenging, and culture is an extremely important thing. That means that they need to have much more investment done in the HR functions, right? And there are other types of tools and technologies to be done. I think in their study, I think they talked about the fact that 71% or 74% of the workers have an unhealthy relationship with their work.
That's a huge number. Think about how big that is.
Correct. Yeah. And that...
that means 3/4 of all your employees don't.
that is absolutely true, right? So then you start to think about that, what do you do? So instead of selling technology, I think HP and other vendors as well who are really propagating the use of hybrid workflow and hybrid devices, specifically the in-room, conference room devices, they need to really advise these end customers should they change the culture? How should they change the motivation?
And that to me is the perfect role for the partner. HP needs to teach its partners how to do that, and the partners can replicate that everywhere.
So, I think that there is this saying, we need to learn to eat our own dog food, right? So I think whatever culture that they have imbibed within their own organization, they should transport that to their channel partners, and those channel partners can actually transport that to their end customer. Potentially, this could be one of the courses in their master class that they've announced, which will be available from May 1st or something like that, right? Master class, AI master class under their HP University umbrella. Maybe this should be part of that as well.
Maybe, yeah. The other thing that I was pleasantly surprised with actually was how much talk to us about security. Again, when you think of HP Inc., you don't really think of them as a security company, but they actually have a lot of sophisticated security built into the products. And they made a point of hammering that home. And in a world where people think of printers and PCs as commodities, it's hard to differentiate. Security is one area where you can differentiate, especially if we're going to be doing AI on the PC. It would seem they go hand in hand.
Absolutely right. And I think their HP Wolf security that they have got is not very well known.
Yeah.
I think they have underinvested in their education of the market. They need to invest that. But you are right, absolutely right. They have a good story, but sometimes one starts to feel that HP is a technology company, right? They need to have a lot more investment in marketing and education. I think it'll do them good.
Yeah. And I guess the only other point I want to make is that they sure seem to have a lot of support from their ecosystem partners. It was nice to see Pat Gelsinger on stage, Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, come in over video. Who else was there?
Sundar Pichai.
Oh from Google.
Yeah.
Qualcomm joined us on stage.
And Insights, Joyce Mullen was there.
Oh yeah,
So they have all these partner base. So it seems as if the partner base, the ecosystem is really invested in. And I think that ecosystem story also needs to be told. So I think they have got the pieces in place. And probably going forward, we will see a new HP, a transformed HP over the next 1 to 2 years.
Yeah. So all in all, thumbs up on the keynote?
It is good. Yeah. It was long.
It was long.
It was long, but I must say, honest to God, that the second half was a lot more exciting.
Yeah.
Potentially, probably because of the fact that some of us, like the analysts, we got a preview of it through their releases and the Q&A which we had yesterday. But the second half was more exciting when they got their ecosystem partners to talk to us.
Well, if you want long, NVIDIA GTC is coming up, and that's always a long one.
That's that's true.
So anyways, Anurag, thanks for joining me on this.
Thank you, buddy.
It was great to see the keynote. And anyways, on behalf of Anurag Agrawal from Techaisle, I'm ZKast Caraval. Here, let me do that over. So anyways, thanks for joining me, Anurag. On behalf of Anurag from Techaisle Research, I'm ZKast Caraval from ZK Research, and thanks for watching. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time on my next episode of ZKast.